Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, July 21st market update. On the economic front, the EIA Petroleum Status Report showed a 0.4 million build in oil, a 1 million increase at the Cushing, Oklahoma hub, and a 1.1 million build in gasoline. And refineries are operating at 91.5%, and oil was down on the day. On deck for tomorrow, we'll get the weekly jobless claims, the monthly existing home sales, and the weekly nat gas report. And a couple of earnings. Qualcomm beat. They were up about 5% in after hours when I looked. Netflix was a light on the beat on the bottom line, but they were light on revenue on the top line, and they were down about 9% last time I looked. Baidu was up, had good earnings, and they were up about 2.85%. The dollar and copper were up today. Gold and oil were down. Silver was mostly flat. Light sweet crude futures were down $1.02 to settle at $76.56 a barrel, and we're on the September futures contract now. So taking a look at the dollar ETF, the UUP, dollar's moving a little bit higher here. Actually had some volume coming in. Showing a little bit of strength. The West Texas Intermediate Crude Point and Figure chart, we're still in this range. We're right back here again. We're just, we've been talking about this. We're still range bound, like the market. Take a look at the Dow. Dow closed down 109 points to 10,120. S&P closed down 13 points to 1,069. The NASDAQ closed down 35 points to 2187, and the Russell closed down 11 points to 612. The Dow held up the best, still down 1.07%, and the Russell was the weakest, down 1.86%. Volume across the indices, they were about average, kind of normal what we've been having in the summer. It wasn't too bad. So looking at the Dow, I mean, it's kind of the same story. I mean, we're still bouncing around in here like a ping pong ball. So it's really hard to tell. I mean, a lot of news coming out. Bernanke talking today. I guess drove the market down a little bit. So it's really the same picture. We're still in these. We haven't come out of these channels or these wedges, depending on how it falls out. We did put another spread trade on today, early this morning, and we sold the 1,165 call, bought the 1,170 call. Small position there for just try to get us a quick 7% return by the August expiration. And let's see what else. Russell, it's all the same. I mean, we're still in these. This is actually the gold lines for the 60-minute chart, but same picture across the board. Looking at gold. Gold, it kind of, it kind of broke down here and did have some heavy selling when it broke from here to here. It's got some resistance here. Didn't move a whole lot today. We'll kind of see where it goes from here. It's been a little weak though. Same with silver. Silver kind of run into the uptrend line, and because it's had some decent selling here, and we didn't. We'll see where it goes over the next few days. The euro was pretty weak today, which Copper broke out today. The JJC, the ETF, breaking higher. You got some volume behind copper. So copper, out of all of them, are looking the best. The VIX was back up today, 7%. It likes bouncing off of this area here. XLF still looking nasty. We're kind of bouncing around. In fact, I'll just kind of take this off. So looks like a kind of a megaphone down here. Maybe it'll be a megaphone bottom or something. Let's see what's next. Let's look at the T. So we're still below. Ooh, yeah, 10-year note doesn't look good at all down here. To 2.892%, not looking good at all. That probably didn't help the market either. Let's go over and look at the McClellan oscillator. We're more neutral. We're not overbought or oversold. We're kind of more in the neutral area in here, so that didn't really help us out much. And over to chart watch. So it's really, I mean, it's the same story. The market's not good for investing. I mean, this is not a good market for investing in. It's actually a very difficult market to swing trade in. It's really good for trading. I've been saying this, and for scalping, and it's good for spread trades. Because if you get far enough away from these, you have plenty of a big range. You can tolerate these big moves up and down, and that's spreads have worked really well in this environment. So let's go look. Complete Production Services broke a lot higher today, had earnings behind it, lots of volume. Might want to keep an eye on this one and see where it goes from here. Possibly, if it weakens, you can buy a dip on it. Amtech breaking out of a triangle today, went higher. Intuit right at resistance. So let's see what happens. Does it fall apart? And then it's got some support here, or does it break out? Amphenol on earnings, huge volume, broke out above the downtrend lines, looking pretty good. Keep an eye on that one. Hexcel broke out today with volume, another one to keep your eye on. Gardner Denver broke out. Well, actually broke out yesterday and went higher today above the downtrend line, so not looking too bad. Most of these we've looked at. VMware still hanging out, but had some good volume behind it, and if the market will has any strength at all intraday, it'll probably go higher. Aruba Network still looks pretty good. This Omega Healthcare pulled back today, which could be reversal, but it's very light volume, so I still like this as long as it can hold above 21. This looks real good. Stanley Black & Decker broke out today above the downtrend line on earnings. Walter still looks fine. CLF still looks fine. Copper prices helping FCX. It's looking good. ANR wanted to go higher today, then the market weakened, and I think it pulled back, but will go higher on any market uppage. Caterpillar is looking fine too. Watch for earnings on some of these. Some of these haven't had earnings yet, so they're coming up. Joy Global still holding up fine. BUCY still holding up fine. Weatherford, it still looks fine as long as as long as it can hold around this I don't know, 1475, 15 area. And there was not heavy selling today. It's just the market was, kind of made a lot of things pull back. Halliburton still looks good here. SLB, another one, as long as it holds that downtrend line, looks fine. CRR, as long as it holds the uptrend line, looks fine. Whoops. Whiting Petroleum still looks good. X looks fine. AKS, keep an eye on that one as well. I know SLX is broken out above the downtrend line, I believe, or it's right at it. I forgot when I looked at it. You might want to check out SLX, the still ETF. This one's been just flying, it's looking real good. This one has broken down and had some earnings today, and you can short here probably down to the at least $12 mark or so. Potash still looks fine. CF's holding up fine. ADTN still hanging out up there. Core Labs still hanging out, but it looks good. Quest still looks good. Southern Company still looks fine as long as it holds around 35 or so. You could use that as a stop. Apple pulled back today. Again, as long as it can maintain that downtrend line about 250 or so, it should be fine. This one's probably the strongest stock out there. Cirrus Logic still looks good. Baidu just had earnings and they're up about 3%, of course, so they're actually up here somewhere, so you might want to keep an eye on Baidu tomorrow. GMCR, we've been looking at this one. It still looks really good as long as it holds the support. SH, short S&P, still holding up, holding this trend line so far. So Asia, fine. Westport, I would wait. Let's see where it goes. But I think it's worth watching. And then PCLN, another one that's been still holding up, just going sideways. Ivanhoe's really good. NTAP, let's see if it can hold around that 39, whatever it is, 75 or so. It needs, if it Just needs to hold that. Had nice earnings when it had earnings. Not recent. Semis, ONN. It's another one of these. It was 2.6%. Looks awful, but there was no volume behind the selling today. I just think that was a weak market. So as long as, again, it holds its downtrend line, I think it's fine. The current market signals. There's no change here. We follow the point figure charts for the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P. There's no change. This remains on a buy. These are on sells. These are their objectives, and if the market stays weak, eventually this will go back on a sell. So, all right, that is it for today, and who knows what tomorrow will bring. Every day's a new day right now in the market. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.